You're watching HCC News with Seth Cox, Hannah Arthur, and Nick Wall with sports.
Hello and welcome to another edition of HCC News. I'm Haley Richardson sitting in for Hannah.
And I'm Seth Cox. Here's what's been happening around Hutchinson this week. This past Wednesday, associate degree nursing students at Hutchinson Community College showed off their displays they created for this year's annual Cultural Appreciation Day.
And we are part of the nursing program here at Hutch JUCO. Today we have a culture day for the whole college.
The Cultural Appreciation Day is to just bring awareness about the different cultures that exist out in society and a bunch of the different cultures that might be existing here on campus. Everybody gets along really well. As part of the nursing program, the different cultures are important to us so that we can help our patients maintain any practices that are very important to them while providing adequate and safe health care.
The booths featured items from many different cultures as well as in-depth information in food. All HCC students and staff were invited to the event. There was even a panel forum featuring students and staff from HCC.
Following two accidents in the month of March, Hutchinson city officials will be installing a traffic light at 43rd Avenue and Halstead Road. Traffic flow through the area has increased drastically since construction at K61 and 30th Avenue intensified. Assistant City Manager Fernando Zales said the light will remain up until the Kansas Department of Transportation reopens the K61 and 30th Avenue intersection completely.
In a follow-up story, we reported earlier this year the Reno County Commission is expected to move forward with a resolution that would ban target shooting within the banks of the Arkansas River in Reno County. Nine residents that live near the banks at both Nickerson and Yoder, including a pair of Nickerson City Council members, came forward and spoke in favor of the ban, citing concerns for safety from stray bullets. There has so far been no opposition to the resolution.
As if going to the DMV wasn't stressful enough, now your new license may be delayed because of computer problems. As of Wednesday, the Kansas DMV was still unable to issue licenses. Janine Coranda, the DMV spokesperson, stated that the problem stems from a computer vendor's server, which brought down all 111 statewide locations. To compensate, Kansas issued out 15-day extensions for licenses that would expire between the dates of May 30th and April 6th. The system was expected to be up and running by Thursday morning.
It was a sad day for 55 workers at Hutchinson Regional Medical Center this past Monday as the hospital announced they were being laid off. The 44 full-time and 11 part-time employees amounted to about 5% of the hospital's staff, and the layoff is intended to save $3 to $4 million this year. The hospital ended its last fiscal year with a $5.5 million operating loss, despite the cuts. With over 1,000 employees left, the Hutchinson Regional Medical Center is still the largest employer in Reno County.
The National Weather Service has said close to a dozen twisters touched down in a violent swath of weather that stretched across Texas on Tuesday. The massive storm left thousands without power and pummeled hundreds of homes with massive chunks of hail. Thankfully, despite the intensity of the slow-moving storms, only a handful of people were hurt and a couple of them seriously, and no fatalities were reported.
Well, if you were on your Facebook over spring break, you probably noticed an unavoidable change to your profile. Again. That's right. Like it or not, Timeline is expected to become mandatory for all of Facebook's 800 million users over the next 7 days. Timeline brings new and complex features that could pose privacy risks, making users' friends lists more viewable and making it more difficult to control the friends list's visibility. Users are urged to view the Introducing Timeline page available on Facebook to fully understand the changes being made.
It's Easter weekend and there are plenty of things to get out and do with your family. The annual Kiwanis Club Easter egg hunt will take place on the Kansas State Fairgrounds this Sunday. The hunt starts at 2 p.m. in Gottschalk Park, is for children 12 and under, and is free. Or if your kids have fur and bark, bring them to the Hutchinson Dog Park on Saturday between 2 and 4. There will be a parade and egg hunt for the dogs, as well as a dog/owner look-alike contest, doggy games, and prizes. So, Seth, do you have any annual traditions you partake in with your family for Easter?
Well, they usually buy a bunch of candy, and maybe it's a present like a CD or something and hide it. We have to go find it.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So stay with us. When we come back from a short commercial break, Evan is here with a look at sports.
Welcome back to HCC News for Sports. I'm Evan Rothwell filling in for Nick Wall. Well, the magical run is finally over. Unfortunately, the Lady Dragons and their fans' HCC's miracle season came up one win short. The Hutch, who went undefeated in the regular season en route to the Jayhawk West title, was blitzed through the Region 6 Tournament Championship. Won 3 games in the 2012 Women's National Basketball Championship. The Dragons defeat foes from Mississippi, Tennessee, and Arizona before falling in a battle of unbeatens in the championship game against Trinity Valley out of Texas. HCC won their first 2 games handily and pulled away late in their semifinal match against number 3 Central Arizona for a 69-56 win and a shot at the title. The championship game proved too tough as a task, as the Cardinals used a big first half from Nationals MVP Kiana Flax to take a commanding 37-25 lead into halftime. HCC would trail by as many as 20 points in the second half before mounting one final comeback. The Dragons trailed just 7 points at 62-55 with 2 minutes and 36 seconds left to play after sophomore forward Chelsea Small hit a three-pointer that brought the Blue Dragons crowd to its feet. The momentum was short-lived, however, as Trinity pulled away in the final moments for a 69-55 win to take the title. Jackie Patterson, Laura Patrick, and Chelsea Small were all 3 named to the all-tournament team. It was a memorable season for the Lady Dragons, the best ever. They amassed a gaudy 37-1 record and played with the enthusiasm that won't soon be forgotten. Congratulations to our HCC Lady Dragons on a wonderful and memorable season. The Kansas Jayhawks suffered a similar fate as the overachieving Big 12 championship used a series of late-game comebacks to advance all the way to the championship game of the NCAA tournament. The championship wasn't in the cards, though, as the #1 Kentucky Wildcats controlled the title game throughout. Leading by as much as 18 points in the second half, Kentucky withstood a late Kansas push to claim its first NCAA title since 1998. And times are changing at Kansas State. In a controversial move, Frank Martin left the Wildcats' helm to take over the job at South Carolina. 5 days later, K-State hired former Illinois coach Bruce Weber to replace Martin. Weber, who took over the Illini in 2004, guided U of I to back-to-back Big Ten titles in 2003 and 4 and 2004 and 5, and took them all the way to the big game in 05. But the team has fallen on hard times in recent years, and Weber was let go after 9 seasons in Champaign. He replaces Martin, who led KSU to 4 NCAA tournaments in 5 years, including an Elite 8 run in 2009 and 10. The HCC baseball team is hunting right along as they are now 25-11 after taking 3 of 4 from Pratt over the weekend of April 1st. The Dragons sit tied with Colby for second in the Jayhawk West with an 11-5 conference record thus far. The Lady Dragons softball team has fallen on rougher times as they are now 15-18 overall, with just 6-12 in the Jayhawk West play. The softballers will be on the road until the middle of next week when they host a 3 p.m. doubleheader against Pratt on April 11th at Fun Valley. The baseball team who hosts two doubleheaders this weekend as Seward County comes to town. They then host Heston College for a 6:30 9-inning single game April 10. So did either of you watch the Big Ten game?
I did. I took off work just to watch it.
Did you?
I'm more of a soccer fan myself.
Yeah. Yeah. I watched it at work because there was nothing to do. I work in the mall. So
Yeah.
what can you do?
That will be all for this edition of HCC News. I'm Seth Cox.
I'm Haley Richardson.
And I'm Evan Rothwell. Make it a great week.
HCC News is a production of the Broadcast and Media Technology program of Hutchinson Community College. For more information on the program or to submit your story ideas, please call 665-3433.